Hi, and thanks for joining me today. So, you may know I talk a lot about self awareness as part of a content strategy. And there's a variety of reasons for that. Oftentimes, when we're looking at content strategy or ways to improve it, we're still focused on kind of the middle step and then hoping that the last step works out. And there's not a lot up front that we're considering before we start to develop our content. Some of the things we can become self aware of as we develop messaging, considerations we're making about audience and kind of the environment they're in. But there's another way that we can consider self awareness as part of a content strategy that is equally powerful. And I wanted to use a LinkedIn post that I saw just recently as a way to kind of demonstrate this. This is from Becca Manganiello, who is the Vice President of Sales and Services at Impact. She writes, "One of the most important traits to have as a leader, self awareness. Last weekend, I was sitting on my couch playing a game on my phone. Yes, it was Candy Crush. Don't judge me. And it hit me. How much time am I actually spending doing this? So I checked my screen time. And wow, let me just say, it was more than I'd like to admit. It started as a way to decompress, a few minutes here or there. But over time, it became a default, a habit, a drain. So I deleted all the games and I replaced them with something I've always wanted to do but kept putting off, learning Spanish. Not because it's easy, but because it's meaningful and something I told myself in the past I can't. And because every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. The future version of me, she's focused, she's bilingual, and she uses her time with intention. Here's where this ties back to leadership. If I'm not aware of how I'm spending my own time, how can I help others make the most of theirs? If I'm not challenging myself to grow, how can I ask my team to stretch? Leadership starts with what you model, your habits, your self discipline, your growth. It creates permission for others to do the same. We all fall into patterns, and self awareness helps us catch them and choose something better. So let's take a closer look at a couple of things that Becca points out here when it comes to self awareness and how it played a role in this very impactful change. It started as a way to decompress a few minutes here or there, but over time it became a default, a habit, and a drain. From a content strategy perspective, really what we're talking about here is the patterns that we get stuck into. Maybe it's a strategy we developed or a process we developed several weeks ago or several years ago, and we're still stuck in it. Maybe it's a way that we write copy. Maybe it's a way that we think about our audience. Maybe it's a way we approach our content. Maybe we need to expand our content, but we've been so locked in on this one thing, we haven't given ourselves the opportunity. And it's because our approach to all of this has become kind of a habituated process that's become automatic, and day after day after day just passes, and we don't recognize it because we're in such an autopilot mode. And this is a human behavior. This isn't something just solely tied to leadership or solely tied to business. I mean, how many times have you caught yourself looking back at how many days and weeks have passed so fast and you're saying, I can't believe it's already July, or I can't believe it's already the end of the year? And a lot of that's because we get stuck in our processes. We get up, we do what we do, we go to bed, we get up, we do it again, and we carry that stuff into work. Another important point she made was, if I'm not aware of how I'm spending my own time, how can I help others make the most of theirs? If I'm not challenging myself to grow, how can I ask my team to stretch? And this is where the leadership aspect actually plays a huge role in content strategy if you're leading a team. I mean, everybody on that team is going to follow however you approach content, or how the company approaches content, or what the company thinks of audience and how that drives content. All of those elements we need to be aware of so it doesn't hurt our content efforts by the time that we produce that content and our audience engages with it. And finally, the main takeaway in all of this, which kind of sums everything up, is when she points out that we all fall into patterns and self awareness helps us catch them and choose something better. See if you can take this example and apply it to something you're doing at work as part of a content strategy. Are you locked into a certain process or a certain approach to content that might limit innovation or limit opportunities to do something new, that have maybe caused you to miss some of the things that are happening out there that would typically drive change? Maybe it's the changes in SEO or changes in attribution or the zero click situation we're dealing with. There's any number of trends out there that should already be helping you alter, your content strategy. And AI is obviously one of those things too. So that's where self-awareness in this case could really be helpful to your content strategy. And if you by chance have taken a moment to stop and think about what you're doing and what you could evolve, let me know what you've done and I'd love to hear your story. But for now, thanks for watching.